The girls are fighting, and it is MAGA on MAGA crime this morning. Check it out. Donald Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene officially broke up. Sad day. Sad, sad day. But he does confirm that the reason for the split is because she wanted to run for a Senate or governor, and he basically told her no. But also, it's all about the fucking Epstein files. Then started to repost people that were calling him TT out, so the breakup is on. The breakup is on. But I'm mostly concerned about this. This is lightweight shit. He lost his fastball. He can't even insult people anymore, right? Marjorie Taylor Brown. Green grass turns brown when it begins to rot. You can't even insult people anymore, man. You're done. All out MAGA Civil War, and the quote, never interrupt your enemy when they are making a mistake. Just grab your popcorn, folks. Sit back. Again, MGT isn't on our side. She sucks. She's going to continue to suck. Let it all happen.
Say, what's new with you? So there is some drama with Trump. And apparently he's having some beef with one of his biggest supporters. Hey, what's going on? So this is Marjorie Taylor Greene. And for a while, she's been a huge Trump supporter and MAGA supporter. And Trump supported her too. Okay, so what happened between them? The Jeffrey Epstein files. So apparently she wants those Epstein files released because she said that the woman deserved justice. But as you know, Trump doesn't want to release them. So she did text him and told him that you have to release those files. And right after, he removed his endorsement of her because she wants to release the Epstein files. Also, she doesn't get any support from AIPAC, so that's another thing. And now Trump has been bashing her online, calling her a traitor and a disgrace. And he said that she would not win any elections without his support. Oh, and all of that because he doesn't want to release the Epstein files.
November 15th, 2025, the end of Donald Trump and MAGA. I promise you. And it's not quite for the reasons that you think. Even Marjorie Taylor Greene knows that Trump and MAGA are done, and she is distancing herself big time. The reason that they're done is because a young man put all of these email files online in a searchable function with keyword searches, and now everybody on the left and beyond are sleuthing and putting pieces together. And this is exactly what was the undoing of Hillary Clinton and her campaign. Somebody put the WikiLeaks emails online, and a whole bunch of people started doing their own investigations, searching the files. And I guarantee, I promise you, it includes Marjorie Taylor Greene. I promise she did it as well. Now, the only difference between then and now is that those on the right who were going through the WikiLeaks emails were also being fed big conspiracies due to Russian and China interference that came out in the Mueller reports. So where the WikiLeaks emails were bad enough against Clinton and establishment Democrats, there were other nefarious sources that attached Jeffrey Epstein to all of it, attached COVID conspiracies to all of it. We don't need to do that. We're not those kind of people on the left. We just simply have to investigate the facts. And with these now being online, it will never stop ending. What is discovered will never stop ending. Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene knows this. She's still a viper. But right now she's a viper attacking our enemy, Trump and MAGA Republicans. But still, keep your distance from her. Just sit back and enjoy the show. But yeah, I promise you, he's done.
If you didn't think there was a MAGA civil war going on before, there is definitely one going on now, as Trump has totally removed his endorsement of Marjorie Taylor Greene, and both spent the night sparring back and forth on social media. Trump calling her a lightweight, saying she's gone to the left, and one on the low IQ show The View, and has now come up with a new nickname for her, saying that she should be known as Marjorie Taylor Brown, because when the green grass turns brown, it's when it starts to rot. I'm not making this up. These are things he has said. She has gone back and attacked him, saying that she is America first and America only, and saying he has moved away from all of that. This, I think, really comes down to the Epstein files. Even Laura Loomer has jumped on the bandwagon and has been attacking Marjorie Taylor Greene, saying she was never the voice of MAGA. But Laura Loomer herself has left the Republican Party. Even Tucker Carlson has completely split off. He released a video yesterday talking about the shooter who attempted to assassinate Trump, Thomas Crooks, and says he found, through this investigative process, legitimately found all of his social media posts on YouTube and found that he did have a large social media presence that the FBI scrubbed and has lied about, allegedly, according to Tucker Carlson. And he's trying to ask why. Why are they not being transparent about this? Because based on what he found, Thomas Crooks was a huge MAGA supporter, huge, massive Trump supporter. So then why would he try to assassinate the president? It makes no sense. There needs to be explanations for this, and we have gotten none. So MAGA is definitely having an internal civil war. Republicans are trying to decide what their next moves are, and they are really strategically thinking what a post-Trump world is going to be like for them. The recent Epstein revelations have really gotten to Trump. Marjorie Taylor Greene strongly supported that. She supports the victims, and Trump is furious about it. And he's taking out his rage about this out on Marjorie Taylor Greene, and she is standing strong, and she needs to do so. And she sees that we are entering a post-Trump world, and she was ahead of this before any of the other Republicans. Let me know what you guys think about all this. Let me know what you think will happen. Comment, like, share, spread the word, follow, subscribe, and I'll see you back here for the 411.
Hey, what's up, America? MAGA civil war starting. So Donald Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene have been going back and forth for quite some time over the Epstein files. But now Donald Trump says he's withdrawing his support for Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene for her perceived disloyalty to MAGA. Donald Trump now says that he's considering backing any primary challenger against Marjorie Taylor Greene, who was once a staunch ally of Donald Trump. So apparently there were text messages and a war of words back and forth between Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene is criticizing Donald Trump for spending too much time focused on foreign policy rather than the America First agenda. However, Donald Trump responded that America is the hottest country in the world right now thanks to his accomplishments, and suggested that Marjorie Taylor Greene was simply going after him for political gain. He then says, quote, "All I see wacky Marjorie do is complain, complain, complain." Then he says that she didn't have a chance unless, of course, she had my endorsement, which she wasn't about to get, at least not now. Donald Trump then says that she's upset that he won't take her phone calls and says, "I can't take the ranting lunatic's call every day." In response to that, Marjorie Taylor Greene says Trump had attacked me and lied about it. But that's just one example. Apparently, the approval rating of Donald Trump continues to decline because of the Epstein shit. And of course, there's a way to fix that, and that's release the Epstein files and do everything from an America First perspective.
MAGA ain't so MAGA no more. It looks like Donald Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene has officially parted ways. Let's talk about it. Donald Trump hit Truth Social and posted attacking Marjorie Taylor Greene. And this is what he posted. "I am withdrawing my support and endorsement of Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene of the great state of Georgia. Over the past few weeks, despite my creating record achievements for our country, including a total and complete victory on the shutdown, closed borders, low taxes, no men and women's sports or transgender for everyone, ending DEI, stopping Biden's record-setting inflation, biggest regulation cuts in history, stopping 8 wars, rebuilding our military, being respected by every country in the world, as opposed to being the laughingstock that we were 12 months ago, having trillions of dollars, record setting, invested in the USA, and having created the hottest country anywhere in the world from being the dead country 12 months ago, and so much more. And all I see, wacky, Marjorie, do is complain, complain, complain. It seemed to all begin when I sent her a poll stating that she should not run for senator or governor. She was at 12% and didn't have a chance unless, of course, she had my endorsement, which she wasn't about to get. She was told. He said she has told, but I know he meant she was told. Now, you know this man is pissed off because Marjorie want to see them Epstein files too. She's part of the crew, and Marjorie has crossed over. She's no more MAGA because she's no one's puppet. You know, Marjorie wouldn't be Marjorie if she didn't clap back. Let's get into her posts. Marjorie posted, President Trump just attacked me and lied about me. I haven't called him at all, but I did send these text messages today. Apparently, this is what sent him over the edge. The Epstein files. And of course, he's coming after me hard to make an example to scare all the other Republicans before next week's vote to release the Epstein files. It's astonishing, really, how hard he's fighting to stop the Epstein files from coming out, that he actually goes to this level, which is absolutely correct. Because if you have nothing to hide, why are you doing all this? But she wasn't done. She posted, but really, most Americans wish he would fight this hard to help the forgotten men and women of America who are fed up with foreign wars and foreign causes, are going broke trying to feed their families, and are losing hope of ever achieving the American dream. That's what I voted for. I have supported President Trump with too much of my precious time, too much of my own money, and fought harder for him even when almost all other Republicans turned their backs and denounced him. But she wasn't done. She went on to post more. But I don't worship or serve Donald Trump. I worship God. Jesus is my Savior, and I serve my district, Georgia 14, and the American people. I remain the same today as I've always been, and will continue to pray this administration will be successful, because the American people desperately deserve what they voted for. For me, I remain America first and America only. Now, Trump is mad and coming for Marjorie because she wants to see the Epstein files. And any parent out there have any character about themselves, they're not going to back Trump's bullshit. So, Trump, I don't know why you came for Marjorie. Because you know damn well you can't handle her. You might as well sit your ass down some damn well. She don't need your damn endorsement. It ain't worth shit no way. Guys, MAGA ain't so MAGA no more. Drop your thoughts down in the comments on Donald Trump attacking Marjorie Taylor Greene because she wants to see the Epstein files. And don't forget to like, share, and follow me for more controversial topics.
Here's the thing that people are missing about elected Republicans, people in Trump's cabinet, and most importantly, Donald Trump's supporters. We've all been reading these newly released Epstein emails today. There is no amount of proof against Donald Trump that will ever convince his base to turn on him. his base doesn't care if he's guilty of having sex with minors. They don't care. Trump's base, elected Republicans, right-wing media, they have never, ever, ever cared about victims, regardless of how young they are. They only care about the perpetrators. Going back to Pizzagate, up through QAnon, Epstein's client list, they only care about perpetrators when they think that all of the perpetrators are on the left. That's the only reason they care about any of this. I mean, with Pizzagate, the perps were Hillary Clinton. And with QAnon, it was the cabal of current and former elected Democrats, the billionaire Dem donor class like George Soros, Hollywood lefties like Tom Hanks and Oprah. And with Jeffrey Epstein, they thought it was the same group. They thought it was the same people. Bill Gates, George Soros, Bill Clinton. I mean, what's the number one retort that we're hearing from people on the right? Yeah, but what about Bill Clinton? What about Bill Clinton? If he's fucking guilty, put him in prison for the rest of his life. Same with Bill Gates. Same with all of them. But nobody on the right has ever given two shits about victims. They only care about the perps. That's why we have the Lake and Riley Act. That legislation, named after a young woman who was horrifically and tragically murdered, did not come about from Republicans because that young woman was horrifically murdered. That law came about because that young woman was horrifically murdered by an undocumented immigrant. That legislation was named after her because of who killed her, not because she was killed. There is no amount of evidence that will ever turn Trump's base against him. It could be on video, and they wouldn't care. They wouldn't care. The only way that things like today's document dump and email dump are going to matter is if it matters politically to the rest of the country, apart from Donald Trump's base. You could show them video of him raping a 13-year-old girl, and they wouldn't give two shits. They wouldn't care. They would not care at all. The rest of the country would care. Maybe a handful of elected Republicans would care. Maybe a handful of his cabinet would care. His own family wouldn't give a shit. His own family knows exactly who and what he is. They've known it forever. Ivanka sat next to him on some fucking TV show when he said, if she wasn't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. He said that in front of her on live TV. They all know exactly who and what he is. Because Republicans care about power. That's all they care about. They care about power. And Trump's base cares about punishment. Punishing the other marginalized communities that they don't like. And if they have to have their imperfect vessel be someone who was literally best friends with Jeffrey Epstein for 15 years and who very likely engaged in a lot of the same activities that Jeffrey Epstein engaged in. I mean, you know, it's like I've been seeing all these fucking news shows today, and all of these news hosts go out of their way to say that, well, Donald Trump has never been accused of anything illegal. Bullshit. Google Katie Johnson. Google Katie Johnson, Donald Trump, Jeffrey Epstein, and read the civil complaint that she filed against both of them, accusing them of raping her when she was 13 or 14 years old, at a time in her life when she looked almost identical to a 13 or 14-year-old Ivanka Trump. He was accused. He was credibly accused. And she got death threats, and she withdrew her lawsuit. That was almost 8 years ago. His base doesn't care about victims. They only care about the perps. And if the perp is on their side, these are people who are all in Christian churches who carry sexual abuse and molestation insurance. These are people who, husbands and wives, late at night, the husband goes into the room of the 10, 12, 13, 14-year-old daughter, and the mom knows it and does nothing. Those are Donald Trump supporters. Those are Donald Trump supporters. They forgive their pastors, they forgive their reverends, they forgive their priests, they forgive their youth pastors, they forgive their kids' coaches for raping their children. It could be on video, and Donald Trump supporters still wouldn't turn on him. They would justify it, rationalize it, blow it off, deny it, or just say, I don't give a fuck. He's our guy. He's an imperfect vessel, and God works in mysterious ways. God seems to work in a lot of mysterious ways that involve adults having sex with children inside the Christian religion, especially among evangelicals in the United States. And they don't care. They don't care about that. They're not going to care about this at all.